I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I stayed up until 2 a.m. last night trying to record another video on a Bedwars challenge, but I couldn't do it. I spent 3 recording sessions, maybe spanning 2.5 hours, trying to beat this, and I could not. So let's talk about socializing. So, to be completely honest, I've never been the most social person. I'm what I like to describe as an introverted extrovert, where at heart I really am an extrovert, and when I'm with the right people, I can definitely let myself come out and be very comfortable in my own skin. But it takes a really long time for me to be comfortable with some people, and like putting myself out there with new people is very difficult. And I don't always have the easiest time, you know, talking to people I don't know. Approaching strangers and unfamiliar people can be very intimidating to me, which is not necessarily the main point of this video, but I think it definitely plays a big role in my life recently. All right, let's see if I can get this guy on 3 hearts. A flawless would be okay. All right, bud. Why would you buy an iron sword? Why? The only reason you'd ever do that is because you suck. But yeah, main point being, it's never been the easiest thing for me to be super social and put myself out there in groups of new people. But this week especially, I've done a whole lot of that, and it has been a very successful and rewarding experience and thing to try. One good example of this is a really good friend of mine had a birthday recently, and he had me and a couple of people I knew over to go on a little day trip to a lake about 40 minutes away. Now, it was not all people I knew, which, you know, can be a little intimidating, especially when you already think the person you're hanging out with is way cooler than you. So it was certainly a nerve-wracking experience going into it. But pretty quickly, I realized that just being myself is kind of the best thing I can do in that situation. Because if these new people won't accept me for... Oh, great. Because if these new people won't accept me for who I am, then they definitely aren't people I should want to spend my time with anyway. And in this case, I got very lucky, and the people I were unfamiliar with ended up being super nice and thinking I was really cool, which is great. And I'm definitely not saying that there's going to be a 100% success rate with this. Not everybody is going to like you for who you are, which, as much as it sucks, it's true. But it can be very telling, and it can be a great learning experience. And sometimes you do get lucky, and you'll make, you know, new friends and form new and important connections. I'm definitely dying. Maybe not. Maybe not. That was kind of crazy work. I'm waiting for you to come out. Unless you're not going to. Do I rush it? Okay. Something else I've been trying out recently, kind of in the social realm of things, is engaging or trying to engage more with like service workers. You know, I used to work at Dairy Queen, and there were definitely some times when a customer would come in and would not speak to me at all, and would be like, this is what I want, that's all. And that would be the extent of that interaction, and those were very forgettable, and quite frankly, sometimes I found those people rude. But then, are you serious? But then sometimes you'll have a super memorable reaction where someone's super nice to you. And days where things like that would happen were always my favorite days, and they were always the stories I would go and tell to my friends after work. So I figure the best thing I can do is to kind of give back in a way and try to make experiences like that for other people as well. And this specifically has not happened to me yet, but maybe someday I'll be having this kind of conversation with a service worker, and we'll end up actually like forming a real friendship or something, which would be super cool. It's probably unlikely, but you know, every interaction has a chance of leading to something like that, which I just think is awesome. I'm sure there will be some people who find this video incredibly corny, but I'm also sure that there will be some people who find it incredibly helpful. You know, I would have loved seeing something like this a few years ago when I was definitely less of a social person and was looking more toward putting myself out there and getting more comfortable being myself in public. Because at the end of the day, what you got to realize is that you are all that in a bag of fries. And if people won't treat you like that, then they probably aren't people you should be spending your time with. And yeah, that can really suck to hear because maybe there's someone in your life who's incredibly important to you, but treats you like crap. And like, I'm not saying that you have to cut them out completely, but there are definitely people who want to make you feel as valued as they possibly can. And I think it's important to kind of search for those people. And it can be a never-ending search, you know? Like, maybe you'll never find the exact perfect person who will treat you exactly how you want to be treated. But you can definitely get close, and it feels really good when you get close. All right, I'm wondering where these people are. Aqua is right there. It's me, Aqua, and Pink left. And I see both of them. I'm gonna go for Aqua, maybe. Could be worth my time. Oh my gosh. That was kind of aura. I can't even lie. Too close for comfort. Too close for comfort. Kind of one more thing to add on to becoming a more social person is the more you engage and ask people to hang out and stuff, the more you'll be asked. And that just is true. Like, I see so many people be like, no one ever asks me to hang out, whatever. But are you asking people, like, I don't know. I feel like it's worth asking yourself. Are you engaging and asking people to hang out? Are you serious? Because I definitely found that once I started asking people more, even if it didn't always turn into the most successful thing in the world, eventually, because I was asking people, they would come and ask me, which, you know, was pretty great. Because W win, by the way, W win. I don't fully remember where that thought was going, but basically, like, if people see that you care and want to hang out, they will very likely care and want to hang out with you as well. And yeah, sometimes you really are going to be the only person putting effort into hanging out with people. But if you find the right people, they will eventually start putting in the effort too, because they will see that you are worth putting in that effort for. Hopefully this video found the right people. I don't really know. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smack a like. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!